Stephen Hawking was widely regarded as one of the greatest minds in modern science, a physicist who reshaped our understanding of black holes, time, and the very nature of the universe. But when his name was linked to Jeffrey Epstein's notorious private island, the world was left with a burning question. Why would one of the most respected scientists of all time visit an island infamous for secrecy, power, and scandal? Was this just a simple invitation, or was Hawking brought there for a much bigger reason? Could it be possible that he had discovered something so shocking that he never spoke about it again? This story will take us deep into a world where science, power, and hidden agendas collide. In early 2006, Stephen Hawking, deeply involved in his research at Cambridge University, received an unexpected invitation. It wasn't just another academic conference. The invitation promised an exclusive scientific retreat on a private island, hosted by none other than billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein had long presented himself as a philanthropist dedicated to funding the future of science and technology. He claimed to be deeply interested in artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and the pursuit of immortality. The letter stated that some of the world's most brilliant scientists would be attending. Hawking, a firm believer in the power of knowledge and collaboration, accepted the invitation. What he didn't know was that this journey would lead him straight into a world filled with secrets and deception. A private jet flew Hawking to Epstein's secluded Caribbean island, an exclusive paradise where only the most elite figures were allowed. Upon arrival, he was greeted by staff who escorted him to a luxurious villa specially reserved for top-tier guests. From the outside, everything looked like a grand scientific retreat, but something felt off. Looking around, Hawking saw that this gathering was not just filled with scientists. Hollywood stars, high-ranking politicians, billionaires, and media moguls were also present. This wasn't just about science. Hawking began to question why he had been invited. What kind of scientific discussion required such secrecy? That evening, Hawking was personally invited to an exclusive meeting. Unlike the earlier discussions, this gathering was held in a private, heavily guarded section of the mansion. The room was filled with some of the world's most powerful individuals. At the head of the table sat Jeffrey Epstein himself, flanked by tech investors, government officials, and leaders from various industries. Hawking, always the observer, sat quietly as Epstein finally spoke. "Stephen, we are standing at the edge of a new world. You are one of the greatest minds of our time, and we want you to be part of this transformation." Hawking remained silent, waiting for more. And then, the real reason for the meeting was revealed. A massive screen lit up in front of the attendees. What was presented was unlike anything Hawking had ever seen. Epstein and his associates had been funding classified research aimed at merging human intelligence with artificial intelligence. The project had one ultimate goal: to achieve immortality by transferring human consciousness into digital form. "Imagine a future where the greatest minds never die," Epstein said confidently. "A future where someone like you, Stephen, could exist forever." But there was something darker beneath this vision. The program was not meant for everyone. It was designed to benefit only a select group, those with power, wealth, and control. Hawking instantly recognized the ethical dangers of such a system. "This is not science. This is an attempt to control humanity," he finally responded. Epstein, now watching Hawking closely, smirked. "And yet, you are here, aren't you?" As the meeting continued, Hawking started to understand the full scope of what was happening. The discussions went beyond science. They touched on global finance, media influence, and strategies to manipulate public perception. This was not just a scientific gathering. It was a council of individuals who sought to shape the future in their own image. Hawking knew he had to leave, but something was wrong. As the night progressed, Hawking became aware that he was being monitored. His internet access was restricted, his phone calls were blocked, and he noticed security personnel watching his every move. He was no longer a guest. He was a captive. As the night progressed, Hawking became aware that he was being monitored. His internet access was restricted, his phone calls were blocked, and he noticed security personnel watching his every move. He was no longer a guest. He was a captive. Years later, photos of Hawking at Epstein Island surfaced. But strangely, no major media outlet covered the story in depth. It was almost as if the entire thing had been erased from history, How was that possible? Because Epstein's influence extended far beyond finance. He controlled information. For the rest of his life, Hawking never spoke publicly about the trip, but those who knew him noticed a change. He became more cautious, more withdrawn, and more focused on his work. Had he seen something that terrified even one of the greatest minds in history? Or had he simply learned a truth too dangerous to reveal? By dawn, a mysterious figure approached Hawking's villa. One of Epstein's own staff members, someone who had seen too much, whispered a warning. If you want to leave, now is your only chance. Hawking didn't hesitate. He was secretly led to a small dock where a private boat was waiting. Without looking back, he left the island, never to return.